me one moment there. Okay, let me over here. Okay, let's see. Much better. Okay, we're going to have some people move in here. So they're going to give them a bit. So I'll at least have YouTube open so that way we can see what's going on or what they're going to watch at least. Okay, use soul space to join Habu. Yeah, because one of the people are going to be reacting to some videos here. It's one about the quote unquote sounds space. Hmm. Okay, let me try again. It should be showcasing for you. Give me one moment. Hmm. Okay, what is this about? Cerebral and barbarian eruption. Autobahn detected localist. Auto. What the hell? Are these? Are they posting links? Hold on here. Hold on. Because that's just all I could have. So many. hold on. Okay, that is concerning. Hold on here. Hmm. What? Let's see. Hmm. Okay, let me see here. So sorry. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to make sure that Seribot isn't just combining people. Okay, Okay, hold on here. Oh, you think they had harmful links? Okay, yeah, that's what I'm seeing here with this. So, um, yeah, please be careful, people. Like, you haven't missed anything, totally. Okay, give me a moment, people. I'm trying to get you to capture here. Hold on, let me try something. Okay, okay. If you're just joining us again, um, something was happening. I was getting sporadic, um, which, scam links. So I had to restart the stream. I just had to ban 7 people. Seribot actually found him, but it just didn't feel right to have that. So, I just restarted the stream. Hopefully, it works for everyone. Um, But yeah, so sorry about constantly lying again. But you have seven hacked accounts or bots just jump in with leave like that. I don't want it to look like it. Or for it to be like, oh goodness, this is a hate raid. So yeah, I just restarted the sleeve. Um, I felt like that would be the safest thing here. Safety first. Yeah, totally. Again, nothing wrong with my viewers. It's just when I see something like that, it's like, hmm, okay, like I know having one or two, that's going to happen. But to have seven in less than an hour, just be banned back to back by Seribot, it doesn't look good for my sleep, but it also shows that, I don't want you guys to think that I support that at all. So, yeah. I wouldn't think that is funny. It's more suspicious. I have heard of people getting banned for hate raids and stuff. Um, so I rather, um, I rather just restart the stream. Yeah, I saw that too. It was crazy. Yeah, the thing is, again, I'm used to maybe like two of them to happen during the stream, but to have over like it was seven of them. Um, it was crazy. So let me try to get it back open here. Let's see. Hmm, okay, but enough about Todd. Yeah, Todd is tragic. If that was you, you would report them. Yeah, on top of the thing, I wouldn't mind reporting them, but then I remembered that some of these are accounts that were compromised. So it's like, what do you do? Eh? It's not. Why is it so tiny? Hold on, edit, transform, edit, transform. Okay, good. Just in time. Give me one moment there. Okay, let me try to adjust it a bit until we get watching. One moment, everyone. Okay. Alright, perfect. Okay, I think that's all much better. Let's just make it wider. Ah, perfect. 10. Okay, good. Alright, okay, let me close that. Okay, there it is.
Ever discovered. Terrifying sound.
So, let's see. Audio and clear the mode. Oh, okay. So, this is called, Seven Space Songs taught there by, of course, Woman T. Artists.
Ever captured in space. And one of them still actually doesn't have a real explanation. And we're starting with the most mysterious and dangerous space object ever discovered. The hole. A black hole.
Um, oh, wow. This has to be a very massive black hole. Like, I have to say that this has to be a very massive black hole. Like, black holes can come in different sizes and ages, but to interpret this one quote unquote sounds, this is a new one. This has to be one that has been here for a very, very long time. Because of the way it's resonating this ways, it sounds like it's trying to emit something, or maybe something. It just grabbed onto something. But it doesn't, I don't know if anyone could understand me. It doesn't sound like a newborn black hole. It, sounds like it has to age in it. Uh, Gunnar says ja, I understand. Lot says yeah, I get it. It sounds, yeah, that's the thing. It sounds older. It sounds like an older black hole. Well, yeah, that would be one of the scarier sounds because of the actions that a black hole can do.
Now, the question is, are there scarier sounds? And if so, which one is the scariest? But just before I answer that question, I need to explain something. Sound can't travel in space.
True.
So what the hell did you just
It's
listen to?
radio waves.
This black hole just farted. Now let me explain. This was recorded from a black hole in the Perseus cluster. This black hole had sent out pressure waves through the cluster's gas. Pressure waves we on Earth could see using NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory. The sonification you just listened to was the result of taking those X-rays and converting them into sound. Pretty cool. So it's just about the closest thing we can get to sound in space. And that would be all I have to say about it. But you're on the Almond the Artist YouTube channel. So,
Yeah, I like this art style. Ooh, it's nice.
Tower of Terror. The Tower of Terror? The Tower of Terror. The Tower of Terror. The Tower of... What? Who told you? This is the Tower of Terror. There are 7 slots and 7 sounds. As we go through the video, I will be placing each sound in the Tower of Terror. And by the end, we will have a clear winner for the most terrifying sound ever captured in space. Or, as I like to call it, the Lord of Astrophobia. Astrophobia is the fear of space, by the way.
Yep, that's
Right
cool.
now, I'll put the black hole in the middle as a kind of baseline. But every sound after this could go above or below. So without further ado, next sound. This is what the edge of our solar system sounds like. This is the Voyager leaving our solar system.
I wonder if it's popping to the intensity. Like it's leaving our solar system to go into another one. I wonder the popping sound is like
What you're
the
hearing is the
change of
voltage
intensity.
what's called the termination shock. It's the region where solar wind suddenly becomes, it slows down and becomes denser. And this is the sonification of that. The higher the frequency you hear, the higher the density of the plasma. But that's the science-y wording of it. To be a little more dramatic, you're literally hearing the moment humanity left home. Now it's time for the Tower of Terror. Does it beat out the black hole? Does it
Right.
even have a chance at the Lord of Astrophobia? My opinion, it's eerie, but it's not
Yeah.
beating the black hole, let's be real.
Yeah.
Pardon me, I almost threw up. This next one, this one might actually take the crown for the scariest sound ever discovered.
Okay.
Space, this thing is freaking...
Okay, I already can tell by the planet. Let me see. What do you think it is, chat? Already, Ghost said Jupiter. Yep, we're live. We are live. Hello there. Hello there. Yep, we are live again. So sorry. I had to restart the stream because of all the scam links. Thank you so much for the follow, Gus. Okay, so a lot of people in chat are saying Jupiter. So, yeah, Jupiter aurora waves. So, someone said Jumo phase Jupiter. That's the second as well. Jupiter. Yep, you guys are correct. So, this is a quote-unquote sound from Jupiter.
Terrifying. Follow me. I mean, I did the research and it's just absolutely insane. Dude. Is that Opera? Yeah! Opera is the sponsor of today's video. Your brain is like a bag of nuts, all shaking around, not focused, and not productive. And it's all because of that lame browser you're using. I bet you're even watching this on a basic default browser. You shouldn't be. My nuts deserve a cool browser. Look at this, look at this. Look Look at all these tabs open while I'm doing research. I don't want to delete them, but I get lost. This is important. Not research important, but emotionally. Opera lets me see exactly which tabs I was looking at last with tab traces. See that little underscore? The darker it is, the more recent I opened the tab. And the tab organization only gets even better with tab islands, which lets you group them by theme, project, or context. Don't look at that. So now I can keep my nuts collected. Look at those nuts. Organized. Thriving. And I can focus on my research. But the coolest feature, in my opinion, is the theming. I mean, you can go absolutely nuts with it. I am so funny. You can also be normal and use a whole bunch of different backgrounds and colors. Look at this one. This one is an interstellar one. That reminds me, do you like watching videos? No? Well, Opera lets you detach moving anywhere. So you...
He just flows. He just flows there. It's all, it's like, I love it. It's like, I don't know how to say it, but it's like, I don't know. Yeah, big love is called big love. So it's two people said town woman. Yeah, town woman, hometown. I don't know. Wait, what was he saying?
You can watch videos whilst you do important stuff. Maybe you want to take notes while you listen to an Almond the Artist video. Maybe. So if you want a browser that can keep up with your brain, click the link in the description and give Opera a shot. I actually really enjoy it. Finally, I can focus on what matters. Jupiter.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, wait, who said Juno Waves? Someone said Juno Waves. Because I see here at the top, it will say Juno Waves. Who said that? Colding Peak. You're right. Wow. Masterclass, yeah, fully masterclass. Familiar space? Oh, that's good. Familiar space, that's good. Okay, let's listen. Wow.
What you just heard was actual radio waves coming from Jupiter's auroras.
I know that's Lugo. What them taught to say planet or living will be a human. Where do you guys get these ideas? Like, are you okay, chat? Like, I would why would you say clothing is a clothing? Don't encourage them. Why would you say clothing is a planet pretending to be human? Because we know it was the Juno phase of Jupiter. He may just know his face, as he stated. Like, he just may know his face. When someone says not ideal. Okay. When someone says no, that was stupid. Would you be specific? It's not an ocean. It wasn't too much of an ocean. It's not blue Pacific. What the hell? Okay. Because now I somewhat forgot how it sounded. I need to watch it again. God dang it. There.
Jupiter.
Hmm. Oh wow, it's like it's fluctuating.
What you just heard was actual radio waves coming from Jupiter's auroras. It was captured via an instrument called waves. But what you're actually hearing is charged particles moving.
Okay, wait. Someone said Aurora. Someone said it was Jupiter Aurora phase. Loot, you're the one who said it was Jupiter Aurora's race. Someone clip. Oh, goodness. I mean, I guess it would be something good to clip. I don't know. Hold on. Hold on. Just gonna. Did something get clipped? Hold on. Nine? Why does it say there's a new clip? Hold on. Did someone actually clip this? Hold on. Why does it say there are two new clips? Did someone just. It says that the new clips are just made. Maybe it just takes a bit. I just got a notification that two clips were made, but I don't see them. Maybe I'll see them after the stream. I don't know. Which has been lagging today?
Through Jupiter's magnetic field near the planet's poles. This movement creates actual radio emissions. It's like the planet is screaming electromagnetic waves. The Tower of Terror. This one probably has the highest chance of being the Lord of Astrophobia, at least that we've discussed so far. This is so unnerving, dude. It sounds literally alive. It sounds like it's screaming. I'm putting it above the black hole. There are worse sounds coming up, but before we get to that, this next sound I would say is actually the single most boring sound on the list. A pulsar. A literal.
Oh gosh. I know how this is going to sound. It's going to sound like a clicking heartbeat. But what people don't know is that it can sound faster. So it's quote unquote boring, but it's interesting because some can go faster than what you're about to hear.
Star is the most boring sound on the list. Here, just listen.
Yep, see? Now imagine that going faster.
Basically, every little pulse you hear is a full rotation of a rapidly spinning neutron star. And that's not even the most bizarre part. There are even faster ones than this. So fast they don't even sound like pulses anymore. Now, my favorite part, your favorite
This is
part.
going to be at the bottom, isn't it?
This is going straight to the bottom. The explanation is cool, but it would just be insulting to the tower if I place it any higher. All right, back to something way more disturbing and another possible candidate for the singing comet.
Okay, what the chat? What the hell are you guys talking about? Okay, if you guys just joined here, I'm going to read off what the chat just typed. Okay, oh no, yeah, well, I'm looking now. Look at, uh, this says hard. Okay, the Downward Terror, I'll chill. This is about the pulsar. What the fuck? Ew. Okay, I'm done here. I'm going to focus on the video.
This is the sound with zero explanation. But before I get into why we don't understand it, let me explain how we got this sound. This is probably an example of the most absolutely insane way we've ever gathered information in space. Basically, we sent out an unmanned ship called Rosetta, which flew alongside the comet 67.
This is not even funny.
Otherwise known as the Singing Comet. Rosetta then dropped a small lander on it called Phil. Well, its official name was like Philae or something stupid, but it's supposed to, it's Phil. We're calling it Phil. All right, but that's not even the most interesting part. Like I said before, no one actually knows why the comet made this sound. We know that we recorded fluctuations and waves in the magnetic field, but why or how those waves were even created is still debated today. We landed on a little comet. Now, it's time.
So, they landed on it, but they're... Okay, because like, wait, if you know the comet that LA landed on, what did you know? Like, you know, what it was about? Because he said it landed on a comet called 670 related. But I guess maybe because it's like a recorder, you're unsure until maybe later the location of it or what caused it. It's like putting a recorder on an animal, what you're recording sounds from it. But the sounds you're hearing aren't what you expected. So you're like, well, where did this come from? How did this happen? But I'm like, wait, don't you? But yeah, they're maybe like, how did the sound was able to uniquely be used on maybe a comet? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's what he's talking about. on here said, "Oh, I hate it. Yeah, that does make it. Yeah, it does make it odd. I would say I would put that above the black hole because the black hole, we know where that came from. But with this, it's like we put delay on 6-7P comet, but we can't really pinpoint how or where or the circumstances that caused this to happen. So it's like who, what, where, when, why, and how. So I will put this at the top. Um, I for me, I don't know just yet how he will put it, but I would put I will put it near the top. Someone said it is puzzling, but there is a lot about space, yeah. That is totally cool. Um, Maybe how it formed from a comet on there, yeah, yeah, totally, totally. Oh, I thought it said almond. Like, hey, almonds in the chat is mint. Yeah, it's being comedy as well because it has to make you laugh a bit. Like, it's so funny. They have all that technology, but they can't pinpoint like those exact answers. They can only make a hypothesis or assumption right now. Yeah, someone just said top two. Yeah, I look within the top two. I have to agree there because we know how these formed. We don't know anything yet about that. Um, it makes you wonder. Holy. Okay, let's resolve.
And for the Tower of Terror. This thing is terrifying. It only adds to it the fact that we don't know where it came
Thank you so much for
from. I
following.
think it's enough to beat the black hole, and
What?
definitely not enough to beat Jupiter. So I'm gonna place it just below the black hole.
What?
Next up, this one sounds small until you realize what it actually is.
Is that space lightning? It has to be space lightning or a space storm.
Those little crackles you hear, every single one are lightning strikes. Lightning strikes from Saturn.
Oh,
Lightning
goodness.
created radio waves, which were then picked up by Cassini's radio and plasma wave science instrument. It's a mouthful. In fact, we even have the date for this particular storm. NASA says it occurs on January 23rd and 24th, 2006. So if you were born on that day, that's kind of cool. But how on earth are we detecting lightning literally 1,559,633,919 kilometers away? Well, I'm super glad you asked that. You did. You asked that. Absolutely. And I'm glad you did. The lightning sends out a
Oh, welcome. Are you here? Welcome.
radio bursts Cassini can detect, which is why it sounds like crackling static or AM radio waves during a thunderstorm. It's pretty similar. Now, the Tower of
Terror.
It's creepy and cool, but it's not beating the comet. So I'm placing it below the comet. But we're getting some crazy competition. Keep in mind, we're still missing... Speaking of, the final sound. And this one might actually be the worst of them all.
Is this the song of Saturn?
The only real question is, which sound is the most terrifying?
Okay, I see Saturn. I wonder if it's the old folk song of Saturn. If you guys is that you know how the comet um was fluctuating tones and stuff. And Song of Saturn is like that. So if you guys are still unsure of what I'm talking about, um, there is something. I think it was maybe early 2000s or later. There is something that was picked up by North America NASA. Um, and it sounds like singing, like the ship and dolls, like singing, but it was coming around Saturn's ring. So people were quote unquote calling it the Song of Saturn. So because I totally see Saturn in the image, I wonder if that is what is talking about the Song of Saturn. Because even after all this time of decades, people are still unsure why it sounds like that. Like, it sounds hypnotic, like majestic, like someone is actually singing on Saturn. So, yeah, I wonder, yeah, it is majestic, Sizzler. Yeah, totally. I wonder if it's hot.
Let's take a listen. Introducing radio waves captured from Saturn.
Hmm. Oh, it's not it. I mean, this is still nice because it's still radio waves.
I'll explain it. This sound, similarly to the Jupiter one, was recorded using radio waves, which were caused by charged particles near Saturn's poles. We're hearing the planet's magnetic activity. Now it's time for the final Tower of Terror. I'm calling it. This right here is the Lord of Astrophobia.
What?
But if you disagree with me, feel free to leave your own Tower of Terror in the comments and click on another video. YouTube thinks you'll love this one on screen. God bless you and have an amazing day. Also, thank you.
Okay, I'll read through the messages here. Someone said they want to hear the Song of Saturn. And then a lot of people are disagreeing with his ranking. Yeah, I have to disagree. I will put the comet more near the top because it's still unknown. Like, we know what the ultra ones are, but we have no true idea how the hell the comet one happened. Okay, let me try to find it here. Let me try to find the Soul of Saturn. I agree, Comet should have been top two. Yeah, at least top two. Because, like, come on, that's the unknown. We still don't know how the hell it happened. Like, I, I don't understand, fully. But, yeah, let me try to find it here. Okay, I think I have found it. Okay, I think I have found. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, that's not it. Uh, a bit long. We're not going to play all of it. So, this is from the Voyager recording. This is the sound or song of Saturn's rings. Right as a whole. Yep. So here's a different part, a more deeper tone. Okay. I don't want to spoil it so much for you guys, but if you want to see, there it is, RT video. Good times, yeah. This is that you could search the sounds of Saturn's rings. Before it was called the Song of Saturn's, but they chose the sound of Saturn's rings. But many people, even at NASA, even over here in older countries, call it the Song of Saturn's Rings. Now, some people call it the Melody of Saturn because of how long it is. But, like, that should have been on the list. That should have been on the list. Fully. And they're so worried about. This was 11 years ago. You guys see this, right? So, this isn't something like 11 days ago. This is 11 years ago. The Song of Saturn. Like, I fully see the Song of Saturn as the top three lords of astrophobia. Because how do you explain the way it shifts? Like, I know it could be the Voyager going left or right or rotating around, but even then, it totally does sound like it's chanting, like it's singing, like triggering, or even like just, like how opera singers have those high, long notes they reach. It totally does sound like that. Like, that's one of the top lords of astrophobia right there. It does when it deserves its flowers. Exactly. That deserves its flowers with recognition. Like, this is what I call something that is out of space. Because, holy, that's so, like, I'm so glad other people at this film are like, wow, it was ripped off. But yeah, you're right, Grace. It deserves its flowers, so that's why I had to find it and give it its recognition. Because how can you look over that? Okay. Okay, let's proceed on. Someone said, yeah, fully, this deserves its flowers and love. Yeah, I agree. But, that's what we think. But let's look at the comments actually. Look at the comments. We'll pass the QA and hey here. Huh? I need 5 people. They have to be strong enough next to like you. Also, leave your front door open. How crazy is this? Plus the Q all day and came here. The Q&A deserves more season. Is that Galway? It looks like they came from somewhere. Oh, there it is. I cannot think of anything as beautiful and lightning at the same time in this life. So it's got recognition on it. It's something that people know about. Yeah, totally. W comments. Because even they're like, this is amazing. This is amazing. It's 11 years. Let me see, the video is 11 years old. I don't know how old that is, but the fact that it's over that, like the video may be 11 years old, but the date and time of this may be totally older, or around that time. So, fully, because I tried to check the description, this is nothing here. But, yeah, it's like so much was missed from I'm not including that. Like, fully missed the mark here. Someone said our lords of astrophobia. Someone else said Our Lady and Lord of astrophony. Saturn, the Lord of the Rings, is ladies. That is actually very sweet. But I agree with that, Ollie. Saturn is the Lord, and the rings are the lady. I agree. But if we had to choose, Saturn is the Lord of astrophony, and that comet is the lady of astrophony. Or yeah, I would say that because the comet is still unknown on how it even happened here. But really, lectures beyond, uh, you guys have the name of it. I'll copy and paste it in the chat here. And again, since the chat was going a bit quick, here you go. Sounds of Saturn's rings, or known as the soul of Saturn. Okay, let's go on to the next video here before ad break starts. Let me get it loaded up. Oh, right. Hey guys, we already know it's about dinosaurs. From the freaking sound. Nice sleep. Oh, thank you so much, Danka. Alright, you guys already heard it. This is called What Did Dinosaurs Actually Sound Like?
That sound you just heard is scientific balderdash. But in this video, I'm going to show you the scientifically proven T-Rex sound. But before I do, I need to show you how we got there with these three dinosaurs and their sounds. The Ankylosaurus. For some context, only 2 dinosaur vocal organs have ever been found, making it one of the rarest finds in paleontological history. And it just so happens the very first ever vocal organ discovered was from my all-time favorite dinosaur, the Ankylosaur. I mean, look at this thing.
He's having fun. I love that it sounds like he's actually, like he's enjoying
one of the
this.
most important components of producing sound in living animals today. It was
Larynx.
a larynx. What is a larynx? To put it very simply, it's a small organ that helps animals breathe and make sounds. I'm using a larynx right now. See? It's found in both birds and reptiles, but the key
Birds have
difference is
2 of them.
birds also have what's called a syrinx.
Yep.
A syrinx is a little more posh. Think of it like a fancy accent. It allows them to produce complex sound. A reptile, on the other hand,
Yep, like a
only
crow.
has
Same words.
It limits their capabilities to very simplistic sounds, like hisses, croaks, and bellows. What does this mean for my best friend, the Ankylosaur? Well, the fact that it had a larynx but no syrinx means that it sounded like an Australian. I mean, it would make more simplistic sounds, is what I meant. However, this larynx was unlike most seen today. While it was similar to birds, it also had huge cartilage rings and bones for tuning pitch, meaning
Oh,
this tank of
it's like a hybrid.
produced huge ranges of sounds, like grunts, bellows, and possibly even chirps. This massive thing sounded like a bird. Because of its size, though, it's unlikely it produced very high-pitched bird noises. So we have to be wary of that. But after a lot of searching, I found a sound. It's the most scientifically accurate I could find, and it sounds super cool. But before I play it, this is what the Ankylosaur sounds like in the movies. But this is the scientifically accurate version.
That actually fits it. That actually fits it.
This was made by using bird sounds, the information we had on its larynx, and the closest living relatives to it. It is the best we have based on the evidence, but it is speculation. That being said, there is actually a sound that isn't based in speculation. It is the most accurate sound we have from this time period, and it's not even a dinosaur. But in order for you to understand that, first, I need to talk to you about the parasaur. While it's not the mystery creature I was talking about, it is probably the most accurate representation of a dinosaur sound we have ever made. Many dinosaurs, although we haven't discovered their larynxes or their syrinxes, had hollow crests or chambers, which allowed for air to pass through and in doing so produced sound. The parasaur was one such dino. In 1995, a nearly perfect parasaur skull was CT scanned and modeled. This revealed a complex array of air passages in its crest, which led from the tip of the crest to the nasal passages, likely producing a kind of wind instrument kind of vibe. When they simulated this sound using the CT scanned crest, the scientist who ran the experiment was stated as saying it sent chills down his spine. The ultimate conclusion? The parasaur likely trumpeted extremely low calls to communicate over long distances. But before I play it, let's see what the movies sound like.
I can see that.
Disgusting, actually. I think we should check out the scientific version. Let's go to science. This is the science one.
I can also see Taco. Yep, that's so perfect.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
No pun intended. So that was probably the most scientifically accurate sound on the list. Other than the mystery creature. You thought I forgot about it, didn't you? I didn't forget about it. The non-dino. The single most scientifically accurate sound we have from the Jurassic period that lived over 165 million years ago was
A cricket.
a cricket.
I knew it.
It was a cricket. The sound was
Of
reconstructed
course.
from the microscopic wing features of a fossilized cricket. It was kind of similar to how the parasaur was reconstructed, using a physical structure rather than an internal organ. As this cricket, much like its modern counterparts, rubbed its body parts together to make sound, like the wings. So, without further ado, I give you the most accurate sound science has ever produced from the Jurassic period.
It sounds quieter.
Whoa. Did you hear that? I nearly crapped my pants. Jokes
It sounds
aside,
quieter.
while being likely the most accurate, wasn't the coolest. That title is
Oh,
definitely
no.
reserved for the T-Rex. And we only have one more dinosaur to talk about before we get to hear it. The Pulausaurus chinglong. Not a clue if I pronounced that right. So remember how I said the Ankylosaurus was the first of two vocal organs ever discovered? No? Well, this one is the second. Literally discovered in 2025, it's definitely the most recent breakthrough on the list. It was so carefully preserved, we could even see very particular parts of its voice box, which are very similar to modern day birds, meaning it would likely chirp, squawk, or even whistle. In fact, the way its laryngeal elements are formatted puts it in some similarity to ostriches or kiwis. It was a small herbivorous dinosaur living about 163 million years ago, and it was about 2 feet long. That being said, we also know the chinglong likely didn't have a syrinx, so while it sounded like a bird, it still only had the larynx. So no special songs for this little guy. Funny enough, he actually hasn't made his Hollywood debut just yet, as he's a completely newly discovered dinosaur, but there is something very similar to him in the 1997 Jurassic Park movie. Let's take a listen. Little bastards sound disgusting. Let's take a listen at what science describes it to sound like. so much nicer. I mean, he sounds like a respectable gentleman, doesn't he? Okay, well, that was the last dino I had planned. But before we get to the T-Rex, I need to tell you something I haven't mentioned. The T-Rex was an archosaur, meaning it was closely related to birds and, more importantly, crocodilians. This has tremendous weight on its possible vocalizations. Similar to the ankylosaur, there's no evidence of a syrinx anywhere in any T-Rex skeleton, meaning it only had a larynx. Not only that, but archosaurs are known to vocalize with their mouth shut. For example, crocodilians bellow by vibrating their throat tissues with their jaws shut. In addition to that, the T-Rex was enormous, being 43 feet long and weighing up to 9 tons. And being the size that it is, most of the time, bigger animals produce low frequencies. With all of this, most paleontologists reason that the T-Rex likely produced very low closed-mouth rumblings. But there was one paleontologist by the name of Julia Clark. She was one of the few who ventured to recreate the great beast sounds. I'm going to play it, but you need to wear headphones. It is the coolest sound ever. You need to have headphones or a speaker system. Please. You'll thank me later. Here it is.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. That's just on to money. That's full accurate.
Bro, if you don't watch another one of my videos after this, I don't even know what will make you do it. I don't know what will make you do it. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much for watching.
Okay. That break is about to start, so I'll just look and see how the chat is going here. What all? I have to say, they all sound more accurate than they let on in the movies. I know I saw someone say it's like the whole ego situation. Um, Yep, sorry, ads are starting again. It's only 90 seconds, so it's fine. I cut them in half, so it's only 90 seconds. They're going to start soon, but I totally did enjoy that. Wow. Okay, ad breaks. I'm going to go slash ad breaks, people. Okay, I'm going. Okay, outbreaks, Tom. Welcome back. Let's see. Oh, what really caused World War One?
World War One was caused by an actual dump. A number two. A number two! I did the research. I got a paper trail to prove it. Just come on in, take a little look at this research. Take a little glance at it. You know what I'm saying? Put your eye. The butterfly effect is the theory that small changes will balloon into larger changes in the future. I know it mostly from Back to the Future and Abundagers on Gum. However, it got me thinking.
Hmm.
What would be the smallest event that would cause the greatest trauma? World War I was perfect for this. It was a huge event that ruined a lot of people's lives. So I wanted to see if one of the greatest human tragedies was initiated by some dude, I don't know, wearing a hat or eating a bat or something absolutely ridiculous like that. But let's get back to the point. The main historically recognized causes for World War I are things like Serbian nationalism, conflicts over alliances, European expansionism, and the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Yep.
And starting today, poop.
What?
Since the butterfly effect mostly relies on personal events, we're going to be focusing on the very personal event of murder. And obviously there are multiple events that would have led to the Archduke's death. Human history isn't like a single string of events, but more like a large tapestry. So we're not finding the beginning of the strings per se. That would be like the first human or the cosmic yogurt meeting with the eternal spoon to create the universe, or something like that. Just the smallest, thinnest event that had a direct link to the death of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, who will from now on be known as Ferd. But why did the assassination of Ferd spark the fires of war? Serbia and Austria hated each other. Their relations were rocky, and poor Ferd would be the last straw, kicking off the events that led to World War I. So then, why Ferd? Why was he killed? I think people were jealous of his totally tubular mustache. However, he was the heir to the throne of Austria. That's the accurate and boring reason. Killed by the Black Hand, a group from Serbia who hated Austria. The Black Hand planned on dealing a blow to Austria and loosen their grip on Bosnia, which would inspire others to rebel against Austria. So if he wasn't the heir to the throne, he wouldn't have been killed, and World War I might have been prevented. Funny thing is, Ferd wasn't the original heir to the throne of Austria. It was actually his cousin. He died, making Ferd's father the next heir. But wait, I thought you said Ferd would be the next heir. We're getting to that bit. You see, Ferd's uncle was the Emperor of Austria, making his son the heir. When his son died, the brother of the Emperor became heir, aka Ferd's dad. Ferd's dad died. How? He died from an infection. How did he get that infection? How else? He drank some goopy oop juice. Goopy oop juice from the River Jordan. Which looks like if you swam in it, you'd grow a third eye. But no, you don't grow a third eye, you die from fatal infection. But what did it get contaminated with?
Typhoid?
Well, thanks to hours and hours of delirious research, we know the infection dear Ferd Sr. died of shortly
It has
after
to be
the Battle of
typhoid.
Jordan was typhoid. Spectacular. And with a quick Google search, we can see that medically the only cause for contracting typhoid
Is
would
fecal.
be the ingesting of infected material. In particular, human waste.
Yep.
That's how the original heir died. That's how Ferdinand became the heir. That's why the Black Hand killed him. And that is the event that caused the First World War.
Damn, I'm good! Can you feel that? Huh? Can you feel it?
All Alright, quick recap. Ferd's cousin died, causing Ferd's dad to become the heir. He's the heir now. Ferd's dad went to the Holy Land and drank the River Jordan. The River Jordan is a little bit dirty, so he's inflicted now with an infection that killed him, causing Ferdinand to take up the mantle as heir to the throne of Austria. And just like that, Ferdinand became the target of Serbian nationalists when it came to time to strike, murdering him in what would forever be known as the event that caused World War I. But you want to know the fun part about all this? As far as we know, typhoid cannot be carried by animals, only humans. Which means some dude out there either took a dump into the river, washed their hands in the river, or washed their bottom in the river. Some way, somehow, that specific bacteria got into that river, and somewhere out there, there is a guy who took a crap and caused the First World War. And
15 million deaths.
that man killed 15 million people by pooping.
Wow. Typhoid. Wow.
What is actually the deadliest animal in America? It's a deer, and it's actually the deadliest animal in the UK as well. You see, the deer is responsible for up to 440 fatalities globally every single year. Why? Well, it can't death roll like an alligator, and it can't bite like a shark.
Is it disease?
Fly through your windshield at 100 miles per hour. Although overcorrection is a big one too. When drivers yank their steering wheel, when they yank the steering wheel, and then they hit a tree. However, there is a much more interesting way they can kill you.
Disease.
While it is rare, they might use their antlers when charging to puncture your organs and cause severe internal bleeding. But which one of these two countries died from the deer the most? It's the USA! Now, what country has the deadliest animals in the entire world? Many of you have had one country in mind when you clicked on the video and you
Australia.
probably thought it would be at the top. But you're wrong. Hell, I was wrong. I thought it was this country. Australia. What animal could possibly be the deadliest in Australia? A snake? A horrifying arachnid? Hell, a kangaroo? Maybe. I don't know. Well, it's none of those things. The animal responsible for the most human deaths in Australia is
Emu?
the horse. It's one of the deadliest in Norfolk Island, New Zealand, and Ireland.
I couldn't tell you.
100 people per year. But how? By far, the most common way to die from a horse is falling. Usually off the horse at high speeds, leading to the horse stomping on you and destroying your organs or your brain. But you can die in a variety of other ways, including, but not limited to, high velocity kicks, dragging, and finally, bites and strikes. That's right, bites. Their bite force is strong enough to not only break your bones, but also sever extremely important arteries. So that's fun too. But between New Zealand, Australia, Ireland, and Norfolk Island, what is the country with the most horse-related deaths in the world? I know it's a burning question. It's a burning question for me. Who's dying from these things? It's Australia.
What kind of horses do they have in Australia? Like, what kind of... I know many countries have their certain horse breed or species, but I wonder, like... Well, now I'm curious. Goodness, let's go watch it.
I ranked all 195 countries by their deadliest animal. One even causes over 1 million deaths per year. And it could be found right in your backyard. Starting from the absolute bottom. Number 195, Belarus. The beaver. In 2013, a man was bitten in the thigh. The beaver's razor-sharp incisors completely severed the man's femoral artery. And he was out before ever going to the hospital. But wait, what's the deadliest animal in your country? According to my metrics, you're likely from the US. So what is it? A bear? Is it a snake? I'll tell you all about it, but first I have to talk about the countries below you, causing the most human-related deaths in Canada, Finland, Sweden, and Lithuania, the moose. The moose kills
Yeah, I can see that.
people every year. Usually, hitting one with your car is the main cause of death. But under the right conditions, a moose will charge you. And it's not the giant antlers you have to worry about. It's the front legs, the front ones. They will jump up and strike downward with their razor-sharp hooves, causing fatal skull fractures, crushed rib cages, and severe internal bleeding. But which of those 4 countries die the most from this
Canada?
munchin' mother of pearl? Well, it's Canada!
Yep.
Canadians account for 20 of those 40 deaths per year. So, the question on everyone's mind, what's the deadliest animal in America? Well, this explanation is made possible by our sponsor, War Thunder, but I'll tell you about them later. In America, there are thousands of dangerous animals, which makes the answer a little difficult. I mean, there are bears, eagles, hell, even sharks. But the deadliest animal in America is actually something you would never guess. And I'm not gonna bore you with a regular explanation. So I'm gonna use vehicles of war. Was it a bear? No. But you can destroy enemy tanks on the battlefield in War Thunder. Was it an eagle? No. But you can battle another kind of bird in War Thunder. Is the deadliest American animal a shark? No. Wait, maybe. Because sharks are basically biological war machines. And War Thunder, an epic free-to-play multiplayer action game, lets you fight with actual ones. On the land, on the air, or the sea. With unmatched realism. Everything down to the sound effects was made just to ensure full immersion. You can feel every explosion and the sweet, sweet glory of dominance. See those annoying little health bars? Real life doesn't have that. And neither do sharks. And just like in real life, War Thunder doesn't have it either. Every shot you fire could be the deciding factor in battle. Sharks can be found in nearly every single ocean on Earth. And in War Thunder, you can fight anywhere from American waters to the waters of Europe. Both are places sharks can be found. But are sharks the deadliest in America? It all depends on their mechanisms. And it's much the same in wars. You have over 100 years of military technology at your disposal in War Thunder. You've got access to smoke screens. You've got access to active radar homing missiles. But the reality is, sharks just don't have as efficient weapons. The skin alone of the American alligator is many times tougher than the shark. They are much more aggressive and tougher to see. Brings me to the 9th Wave update. They've improved water graphics. They've also added a new unique branch of Hungarian aviation. And they've added new fighters for the skies. The American F-16C Block 52 and the Soviet MiG-29M. So download War Thunder now to become the deadliest on the planet. You can download it completely for free on Xbox, PlayStation, or PC by using the link in the description. And all new players, and players who haven't played for half a year or more, will receive 100,000 Silver Lions, and a special decorator, Eagle of Valor, and more. You can also immerse yourself in War Thunder Mobile with a free download on iOS and Android. So, what is actually the deadliest animal in America? It's a deer, and it's actually the deadliest animal in the UK as well. You see, the deer is responsible for up to 440 fatalities globally every single year. Why? Well, it can't death roll like an alligator, and it can't bite like a shark, but it can fly through your windshield at 100 miles per hour. Although overcorrection is a big one too. When drivers yank their steering wheel, when they yank the steering wheel, and then they hit a tree. However, there is a much more interesting way they can kill you. While it is rare, they might use their antlers when charging to puncture your organs and cause severe internal bleeding. But which one of these 2 countries died from the deer the most? It's the USA! Yay! That's awesome! Now, what country has the deadliest animals in the entire world? Many of you have had one country in mind when you clicked on the video, and you probably thought it would be at the top. But you're wrong. Hell, I was wrong. I thought it was this country. Australia. What animal could possibly be the deadliest in Australia? A snake? A horrifying arachnid? Hell, a kangaroo, maybe. I don't know. Well, it's none of those things. The animal responsible for the most human deaths in Australia is the horse. It's also the deadliest in Norfolk Island, New Zealand, and Ireland. The horse kills 800 people per year. But how? By far, the most common way to die from a horse is falling. Usually off the horse at high speeds, leading to the horse stomping on you and destroying your organs or your brain. But you can die in a variety of other ways, including, but not limited to, high velocity kicks, dragging, and finally, bites and strikes. That's right, bites. Their bite force is strong enough to not only break your bones, but also sever extremely important arteries. So that's fun too. But between New Zealand, Australia, Ireland, and Norfolk Island, what is the country with the most horse-related deaths in the world? I know it's a burning question. It's a burning question for me. Who's dying from these things? It's Australia. Now, for a world's deadliest animal video, we've covered a lot of unexpected animals. Where's the scary ones? Where are the ones that make you go, whoa, that guy looks a little spooky, you know? Where are those guys? Well, introducing the 5th most deadly animal in the world, the deadliest animal in over 35 countries, battling for their title at the WWE.
Is it a spider? That's the...
Bees, wasps, and hornets.
Okay,
I've grouped
I
these
understand.
3 together because they're usually mistaken as one another. And
Allergies.
because
People
it's
can be allergic.
to find their specific stats across countries, so I'm sorry. They're wearing the same jersey, so they're on the same team. You know what I mean? They kill up to 3,000 people every year. This is where the numbers start ramping up. It gets so much worse. But bees, wasps,
You have allergies and sting reactions to right feet.
35 of these countries back here. Look at all of them. And there are 3 different ways they can kill you. And I'll tell you, from the least common to the most common. The least common way a yellow jacket can kill you is from
Eating.
swallowing one. It
Yep.
stings your airway, the swelling will choke you to death. So that's fun. The second most common way is the most horrifying. A mass attack can
Yep.
overwhelm your body with venom, killing cells, muscle tissues, and you die from kidney failure within days. And of course, the most common cause is anaphylactic shock. For people
Yep.
with
Allergies.
to their venom, a single sting can be enough to kill you within minutes, if not treated immediately. Now,
Yep.
which country dies the most from these guys? It's Japan! Yay!
Yep.
Saranghe! 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 Sarangamida. Now, there's no confetti to celebrate this interesting fact, but I do actually have a secret for you guys. Whatever country wins this entire thing is not only declared the deadliest country in the world, but they also win a membership to the Deadliest Country Club. It's this little award I made up. I will give you this fun little heart badge next to whatever you comment. So I'm counting on you guys to be honest. In order for me to find your comments though, you need to type the name of the animal that I reveal at the end. The most deadly animal in the entire world.
Mosquito.
I'm only doing this for the first
Is this
5
another
minutes of the
mosquito?
video, okay? Bees are not the only bug on the list. Allow me to introduce you to the 4th deadliest
Is it a
animal in the
mosquito?
world, a scorpion.
Oh,
Pretty cool. This little guy
Actually, that
is
makes sense.
responsible for over 3,200 human deaths across the globe every single year. And it's the deadliest animal in Bahrain. That was a good pronunciation. Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. But actually,
Heard a lot of
all
desert
of
is.
those global deaths can be boiled down to just 3 specific scorpions. The Indian red-tailed scorpion, the Arabian fat-tailed scorpion, and the Death Stalker. Funny thing too, they all kill people using extremely similar methods. First off, their primary victims are children, due to their small size making the venom more potent. And the venom, when injected, essentially pumps the body full of adrenaline. You will be completely unable to calm down, and your heart will give out due to sheer exhaustion. It's basically a very, 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 very effective energy drink. Now, out of all of these these countries, Saudi Arabia and its people die the most from these little guys. They're the MVP! The MVP! The most very dead persons. However, for this next one, you're going to feel betrayed. The third deadliest animal in the world with over 59,000
Santa squirrel.
every year. Our dogs. Dogs are the deadliest animal in all of these countries. I would list them, but that's a lot of countries to list. But why? Why do our beloved friends keep killing us? Well, they kill us with love. They kill us with love. No, I'm joking. I mean, unless you spell love R-A-B-I,
Rabies.
in which case
Yeah.
you're absolutely right on the money. They don't really tend to kill us through mauling. In fact, if you end up accidentally getting their saliva into your eyes or your mouth somehow, that could work too. The country with the most human deaths from a dog is India.
India. Yeah.
Has an even deadlier animal I'll talk about right after this. The country that dies the most from dogs, that also has dogs as their number one killer, is China.
Yep.
So what's the deadliest animal in India I was talking about? Well, it's actually the second deadliest animal in the entire world, killing up to 138,000 people
Is it a
every
bacterium?
year globally. It's
Snakes. Yep.
or the note rope if you're feeling saucy. And most of the human deaths can be attributed to just 4 snakes. But before I tell you which ones, snakes are the number one killer in over 11 countries, including Afghanistan, Iraq, Oman, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Cyprus, Israel, and Lebanon. Sorry for the pronunciations. Known as the Big Four, the 4 deadliest snakes in the world starts with the krait, with an estimated 10,000 kills annually. It's often ignored because people don't actually feel its bite, but the venom completely destroys your nerve endings. You may get a locked jaw or even become blind due to severe nerve damage. Eventually, the venom causes complete respiratory failure and you suffocate while fully conscious. Number 2 of the Big Four is the Indian cobra, with an estimated 15,000 kills annually. Its venom causes paralysis, which spreads to your respiratory system and you suffocate, unable to move. Number 3, the Russell's viper. Its venom causes your blood to clot, completely exhausting your body's natural ability to clot. You'll begin bleeding uncontrollably from your eyes, nose, gums, and any old wounds. The victim dies from kidney failure, internal hemorrhaging, or cardiovascular collapse. Number 4 of the Big Four, causing the most human deaths out of any snake in the world, the saw-scaled viper. Similarly to the Russell's viper, it targets the blood, ripping apart blood vessels. This often results in a fatal brain hemorrhage or systemic organ failure. The country with the most deaths from snakes, I mentioned it before, it is, do you remember?
India.
It's India! Which leads us into the number 1 most deadly animal in the world. It causes over 1 million deaths annually.
Mosquito.
The deadliest animal in about
It has to
100
be the mosquito.
making it by far the most widespread deadly animal we've discussed of the entire video. So what is this mystery animal? What is the single animal responsible for the most human deaths every single year? The one that can be found right in your backyard. Weighing
Mosquito.
in at a whopping 2.5 milligrams. It is the mosquito.
Yeah.
What country dies the most from the mosquito and is thus the number 1 spot of the entire ranking, with over 260,000 deaths from malaria and diseases carried from mosquitoes? It is Nigeria. Woo! If you like this video, please watch another one. God bless you and have an amazing day. I'll see you next month.
Okay, give me one moment there. Yeah, I know, right? Just, oh.
energy cannot be created or destroyed. And 2, the universe is expanding infinitely. It's simple. Energy is finite. The universe is infinite. Energy switches between forms: mass, matter, light, heat, back to mass, etc. Which means eventually, all the energy will be spread throughout the universe, so far apart that no form of energy can interact with each other. Kind of like too little butter on too much toast.
No.
The butter is still there, but it's just so thin. You can't taste the butter. Because energy and matter can't interact, the universe will be nothing but a cold, dark void, where nothing happens. Forever. Screw that! And screw you, Kevin Spacey! He has nothing to do with this, I just think he's a bit of a dick. Moving on! Now, I've explained the death of the universe, cold, dark, and boring, but stick with me. Now we're going to talk about the Great Kaboom. The Big Bang is a lot more complicated than I thought it was. It was a singularity, a point where all the energy in the universe was, and it just started to expand for no reason. And it expanded and expanded and expanded and expanded, like how I expand when I see my limited edition Braille Playboy. And it's still expanding. So in a nutshell,
Thank you so much for terrible
was in one concentrated spot until it suddenly became not so concentrated. It had all the energy in the universe, every bit of matter and quarks and atoms and all of everything in there, until suddenly, without explanation, it just started to grow. And it's still growing. To this day, the expansion of the universe is theorized to be continuously growing, just like Yo Mama. So, if these theories are true, the universe can happen again. It can be brought back from the dead. Black holes have such great gravitational force that not even light itself can escape its pull. Knowing this, I had a question. What would be the final thing to be consumed by the heat death? I'll give you 3 guesses.
The sun?
Black holes. It's black
Black holes.
Okay, now I've covered all of the widely accepted laws and theories of physics that I'll need to propose my hypothesis. However, I'm not a physicist. I think it's pretty brilliant. I think it's pretty logical. It makes logical sense. But I'm an overthinker, not a professor.
Bill Nye whipped it out.
If the last thing to exist is a black hole, what's stopping a supermassive black hole from gobbling up all the energy and matter in the universe? And if that happens, guess what? All the energy and matter in the universe will be in one big collection, concentrating everything to a single point. Does that remind you of anything? I'll give you 3 guesses. The Big Bang!
Bang.
The Big Bang! Or the Great Kaboom! So if there so happens to be a large enough black hole to concentrate all the energy into one place, we now have something very similar to how we theorized the beginning of the universe. Very interesting. Oh, but what's this? What do I smell? Is that doubt I smell? I can hear your Cheeto-stained fingers typing away. Where's this magical black hole coming from? Don't worry, I've got the solution. There are black holes at the center of almost every galaxy, including ours. Over time, they could merge and create one big supermassive black hole. Sounds a little nutty, I know. But black holes get bigger the more they consume matter. Not only that, but they get bigger when they consume other black holes as well. So
Like
eventually,
more
black holes
cannibalism?
all matter in their galaxies, and the black holes at the centers of
Space
galaxies are
cannibalism.
big enough to be attracted to each other. Eventually, you will get a black hole that has all matter and energy trapped within it, like a big Russian nesting doll. Which again sounds awfully similar to the Great Kaboom! The Big Bang, which gives credence to another Big Bang, and thus another universe. Oh, my brain is just massive and wrinkly, like a sack. There is a catch to this idea, and it comes from Stephen freaking Hawking. Black holes can decay, with a little annoying thing called Hawking radiation. So if by some chance, it's probably pretty likely, the universe is expanding faster than black holes are growing, then the black holes may be too far away to influence one another, and thus they will decay before they can ever consume one another. However, the possibility still remains. If black holes keep growing and merge with one another to create a supermassive black hole, all the energy in the universe will be sucked in and pulled into one concentrated point, recreating similar conditions to that of the Big Bang, possibly resetting the universe, and boom! Universal recreation. So, Stephen Hawking. But hey, if you believe me, you're listening to enough.
Wow, he was
That
so
being said, nuts are
angry.
nothing if not open to conversation. What do you think? Am I on to something, or am I on something? Stam your thoughts in the comments below. And subscribe.
He was very, very angry. He was like, getting fucking. I've never seen him have such an angry looking character ever. I think in all the time we've watched this, I've never seen him that angry. Um, wow, he was angry. Yeah, with anger he said that. Like with anger. My goodness. Yeah, he was this. He has a vendetta for Hawking, so you never know. I mean, Owen is a smart guy, like Louis. So maybe he has a vendetta, or maybe it's the black hole radiation, and he's like, look, Steve Hawking, we're talking. My goodness. Like, that makes it sound more personal. But Malice is stated that. Yeah, fully with Malice. Wow. Okay, let's see here. Oh,
So here's the thought experiment. I've revived the Neanderthals, and I'm running them through every major real-world event that's happened since their extinction to see how they might adapt. Because in a nutshell, that's all evolution really is. It's just adapting to the environment over time. And there are 3 extinction-level events that had enough pressure to make them evolve. But they only get more and more deadly as we go. Is there a limit to how strong they could become? What would they look like when we're done? Starting with the first event, the
I
last
see.
glacial maximum.
huh?
This was the coldest point of the Ice Age. And
Oh, that's really I see.
astronomical impact on their strength, explosiveness, and brain development. In simple terms, the last glacial maximum was the peak of the Ice Age. It's the coldest the Earth has been in the last 100,000 years. And here's the fun part, the Neanderthals had already gone extinct 14,000 years before it. So in this experiment, every single year after their revival, the world just keeps getting colder. This will push them way beyond their natural cold limits, which leads to our Neanderthals' first new evolutionary change. They are
Fat.
for the next 14,000 years, all the adaptations they had for the cold are pushed to the extreme. That means their muscle, their stockiness, their broad noses, their height becoming shorter, and metabolism are just insane. Or in layman's terms, they're just extremely strong and
Fat.
however, there is a trait that shows a lot more growth than any of the others, and you'll never guess what it is. When I compared the Neanderthal against its predecessor, Homo heidelbergensis, which underwent a similar mass cooling event at the beginning of the Ice Age, I actually discovered a rapid increase of
Here.
brain size. So over 14,000 years of mass cooling. Not only did the new Neanderthals become stronger, faster, and more durable than their predecessors, but they also just became extremely intelligent. And they had larger noses, and they had larger lung capacity, plus they're shorter, which is obviously the superior height. Essentially, they're shorter, better, faster, stronger.
They won't kill me. They only make me stronger.
Population explosive.
After researching this next event, I thought I'd have to scrap the whole video. Over a course of 15,000 years from the last glacial maximum, the Earth, it starts to warm. You may think, oh yay, wow, palm trees and coconuts and beaches. Actually, they might die from starvation. Pretty cool. I would say that is awesome sauce.
The Great Warming.
The main food sources of our new Neanderthals, cave bears, mammoths, etc. are starting to go extinct. And without food, the Neanderthals will be next. But would you get a load of that weather? It's hotter than me. The hot weather made our Neanderthals skinny. I mentioned our new Neanderthals got shorter, stockier, stronger with cold weather, but with warm weather, they get taller and longer to dissipate heat faster. And their noses are going to get smaller as they're used less for warming the cold air. They are slowly making the transition from sumo wrestler to supermodel, eating disorders and all, because we still have a major food problem to solve, which I found a solution for. It's called procrastination. Megafauna numbers are dwindling, but they're not completely dissipated. They still eat and hunt large animals, making them still superhuman, but they're gonna start supplementing those calories with foraging or smaller prey. And without those huge animals feeding their monstrous bodies, slender, more calorie-efficient bodies will be preferred. And with less dangerous hunts, the population increases. Those Neanderthals are getting busy! Yeah! Which also makes the development of new technologies faster, like the subscribe button. So during the time since the last glacial maximum till the end of the Ice Age, our new Neanderthals got a slight boost of height, cuter noses, better technology, more fruits and veggies in their diet, and a slight nerf on their godlike strength. We still have 11,700 years until the present day. That's enough time to live through all of recorded history twice. Which brings me to the most dangerous era of their evolution, the Holocene era, or as I like to call it, the genocide era. It's during this time we see some of the most influential disasters of human history. There are officially no more megafauna. The Earth will warm, flooding land bridges. A cooling event known as the Little Ice Age occurs. Diseases such as the bubonic plague and influenza will arise. In Eurasia, volcanic eruptions will cause prolonged winters, and the rise of new technologies may even impact their physicality and appearance. I think now is the right time. What is this progress bar? Well, evolution isn't free. It occurs because the new traits help the species to survive better, and the old traits are causing people to die. The thing is, if we assume the Neanderthals are breeding at a replacement pace, they may not survive this next era. I literally named it the genocide era. They will get stronger, but at the cost of the most massive loss of lives yet. If even one of them survives, it will become the most powerful human species to ever live. I will approximate the numbers as accurately as I can, but if this bar gets to 0 and the science says they die, then they will die. In order, we first have to deal with the megafauna extinction. Food is gone, people are dying, they need to get smarter. We're going to see changes in jaw robustness, increased reliance on cooperative hunting strategies, and a potential minor reduction in average body size and bite force as brute strength becomes less advantageous. Next, apocalypse. An abrupt cooling event interrupted the warming of the Holocene for a few centuries. Not enough time to see any major physical changes, but we will see minor changes such as increases of fat storage and endurance, as well as a switch to a more nomadic lifestyle. Oh, you're starting to like the cold? Too bad, punk. For the next 4,000 years, we have the Holocene climactic optimum. It's a period of massive forest growth. You're gonna love this. In forested areas, selection may favor short-range, ambush hunting strategies, with the main game likely being boars, deer, piglets, and birds. I'm smelling upgrades for our new Neanderthals, who are still, keep in mind, stronger than the originals. To successfully hunt, our new Neanderthals need to become faster, to maneuver through trees and pursue prey at incredible speeds. Their senses will see a sharp incline to hunt down and track prey. Grip strength increases, as does upper body strength for climbing trees and grappling with animals. We may even see some thicker bones due to work with lots of thick logs and wood. Basically, Wolverine-like upgrades to the new Neanderthals. But good times for them also mean good times for other things. There's something approaching from the east. Something that could very well wipe this new species off the planet. Around this time, about 8,000 years ago, expanding into eastern and southeastern Europe, come droves of ferocious lions, along with the persistence of other predators such as bears and wolves, competing for food with the new Neanderthals and, if they're hungry enough, eating them. If they want to survive, they'll have no choice but to work with each other to defend themselves, increase muscle strength and bone robusticity in predator-dense areas, and create more deadly weapons. Let's take a look at the scoreboard for the results. Not as bad as it could have been, but still, I'm not liking how close they're getting. But I have great news. We only have 4 events left till we get to the modern age. And if any one of them are as intense as the last glacial maximum, they'll all be dead and in the ground. So let's just do them all at once. Please welcome to the stage volcanic eruptions, the Little Ice Age, the bubonic plague, and the Spanish flu. All 4 of these events have some of the highest kill counts of all human history. If the Neanderthals survive this, they will have touched superhuman level. Number 1, volcanic eruptions pump huge amounts of toxic fumes into the air, causing massive winters, causing those cold adaptations to take precedence, such as shorter limbs, bigger muscles, and high metabolisms. It also causes diseases to swarm. Strong immune systems and knowledge of medicines is going to become the norm. Number 2, the Little Ice Age. The cold traits are pushed even further, becoming thicker, fatter, and stronger, likely leading to the development of much warmer clothes. Number 3, the bubonic plague. Surviving this catastrophe requires insane immune systems and high knowledge of medical aid. And the same adaptations are true for number 4, the Spanish flu, leaving us with a very, very small amount of survivors. By my very rough approximation, about 5,000. That have now been endowed with massive bodies, clothes, medicine, and superhuman immune systems. So if Neanderthals never stopped evolving, these are the increases in stats, resulting in an unkillable superhuman mutant. YouTube thinks that you'll like this video, so why don't you schmorp it? That's right, you heard me. Hover your mouse over it and schmorp it. It means click, but I'm saying it weird because it's funny. And I don't know. I'm making a new word. Schmorp it. Schmorp. I think schmorp is a good word.
Sister Health does. Okay, help with the thing. Okay, let's see here. Oh,
I bet you can't guess how I broke my wrist. Not in a million years could you possibly guess how I possibly could maybe have broken my wrist ever. There's no way. There's no way you could possibly have done it. It's just, you had all the time in the world. And it's in the title. Not to brag or anything, but I'm pretty good at hurting myself. I'm pretty good. Like, not on purpose.
are you accident
In
prone?
a stupid way. Please don't hurt yourself on purpose. And this is one of those times. Woo! You ever have those relatives, you're not really sure how you're really related to them, but they come over anyway, and it's just like a stranger in your house. They always approach me like I'm some kind of like household pet or something. Like they go, "How old are you now? You know, and who's this little guy? What kind of dog food do you eat? You know, things like that." By the way, I'm partial to canned puppy chow, not the dry stuff. The dry stuff's gross. You can never get me to eat the dry stuff. The dry stuff's nasty. So the stranger relatives are sitting in my living room, and I'm sitting there, feeling I'm feeling threatened. My parents are showing someone other than myself attention.
I can't allow this. I thirst for attention. I must have it.
Attention's precious to us.
At this point, I'm racking my brain, thinking of any way I could possibly capture attention.
Yes. I don't know what this video. I don't have any idea.
I'm a genius. And that's when I jumped 9 feet in the air and did a 3 million times double backflip. I'm kidding. That didn't happen. That'd be cool though. Instead, I walked up to one of the stranger relatives and said, "Aw, he wants you to play chess. Isn't that just adorable?" So he agreed, obviously, and we sat down at the living table. Hey, do you mean coffee table? Let us play. He begins by moving his pawn. A risky move, but he'll never expect my counterattack. We've predicted my highly unpredictable British elf turtle tall left right combo attack with an uppercut and triple tech deck maneuver. There's no way he could possibly get past my lion skin Nimbus 3000 Quidditch defense. Clearly, he held the upper hand.
Okay.
No, I can't laugh yet. I've got to hold it in. They're all gonna die.
And checkmate. I lost. As it turns out, my little underdeveloped brain couldn't compete in a game of intelligence with a 30-something-year-old man. Who knew, you know? But almond, I hear you say.
How did you break your wrist?
Or anything, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Hey, look at me, hey. We're getting to that bit. So I'm angry, right? I thought I had that in the bag. I'd been practicing all that day. No other day, just that one. So clearly, I had enough practice. So then what was the problem? Clearly, he cheated. I don't know what he did. I think he might have looked at my pieces or something. I'm not sure. I stormed off. Yep, got up in silence and stormed off. Didn't say a word. I started climbing up the stairs to, I don't know, go to my room or something. Little bro needed some space, you know. But as I'm climbing up the stairs, I get this overwhelming feeling of anger. And this thought that I needed to physically exert myself in some capacity. It was an urge. I don't really know. I wish I could say I did some push-ups. Nope. Little me thought it would be a great idea to just wind my fist up and bring it right down into one of the stairs. Let me educate you on some history. Mathematically speaking, if an item of hardness, an item that is hard, is smashed against an item that's even more hard, then what happens to the softer and somewhat more brittle item?
It's going to break.
Take your time and write it down in the comments.
It's going to hurt.
Subscribe. I don't know. I'll still be here. You know, take your time. Write it down. Go. Write it down. Go. That's right. I'm talking to you. Go. Write it down. Go. Alright. Let's see what you wrote down here. That's right. The more brittle one, it breaks. So when I brought my little fist into the hard floor thingy, it...
Oh!
Alright, well, this is off script. So, this is my first video, so thank you everyone who's watching.
Oh, is this the
or
first
has watched
video?
to the end. I know that this video might be worse quality than some other videos that are out at the moment, so I appreciate your picking my video out of all
It's
the
not
other
that
videos.
for first video, though.
Go look at other videos as well. You know, don't leave all the attention to me. but I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you know what that is? It's already 2 hours, so I'm going to put us into intermission here. So, I really had a good time. The reason this stream is not 3 hours is I'm going to be making a longer stream tomorrow. Um, so, not tomorrow, on Friday, on this fate. We're going to try to get to level 30. And I know that's going to be a bit of a challenge, so I'm going to save all my time. Um, for that. So yeah, Fate Friday. It's going to be a bit longer. Hope to see you guys there. Truly. I am so glad you are all here. For my stream back from vacation. Um, Truly. But I only appreciate, you all as well. Or, any new followers here. Really appreciate tools, appreciate the follows, and everything. Um, so what I'm going to do is get us some red music here. So give me a moment. But I really did appreciate it. We had a lot of active people here. So I am glad that this is something that people do like. Again, it doesn't steer away too much from us gaming, because I still love gaming. So yeah. Um, but let me find some real music for us, and then I am going to get us reading someone who set up wait, okay? See. Moment there. Okay, I think I have found something.
I feel like you're either a silly
Okay,
animal name
I don't,
person
I
or
don't
a human.
care. Shut up, Lady Peter. Uh, okay, there we go. going to be raining use moisturizer.